My true name is Ban. My last name is Tran. I was born in Saigon. It's a
Hmm.
south of Vietnam.
Where did you and your family live during the war?
Actually, we live about 20, 30 minutes away from Saigon, central Saigon. It's not far. It's about 10, 15 miles away.
What was it like growing up during the war? Were you old enough to understand what was going on?
Actually, it's at the time during the war, I was around 6, 7 years old.
Hmm.
So not much experience the entire war, but just partially a little bit.
Can you tell me an experience you might be able to remember during the war?
Actually, we during the war we just looking as we're looking at a safe place to hide because at I remember I recall that at the time the war is not far. Actually, the fighting is not was not far from our homes. Um, it was about 5 to 10 kilometer away, and even though at one point in time I just missed the death, just in second. I remember at the time that I was sleeping with, of course, in the entire family in at nighttime, and a bomb just blew up next to my home. And that bomb killed a person in that house. And luckily that it is missed myself and my brother, my older brother. We survived. Actually, the bomb just blew up next to our door, next to our home. And we we slept well until my parents woke us up and say, "Hey, the bomb just blew up just next to our house. We had to get out and move away." And at that time, I learned, oh, the bomb blew up just next door.
Speaking of your family, what have your parents told you about life during the war? Or how did they feel about the war? Do you remember?
Actually, my parents is my parents actually my mother uh during the war we couldn't do anything, you know. Whatever job we could do, we do it for survival, you know. Even though we earn a meager money, we still do it, you know, no matter what, because everyone try to of course to earn something so that we can survive during the war. Nothing, not much job we can do because it's a war. It's during the war. So my father, he was in army, but he retired after that, and he was a driver, a bus driver. It's not a bus. It's a kind of tricycle um, vehicle. It had three wheels. So he's used that to make a living for our family, so we can survive, through the war.
Did your mom do anything as well?
Yes, she did. She had a small shop at a local supermarket. Actually, it's kind of street market here. It's similar to street market here. So she sold clothes, fabrics, all kind of such material. So we can make small money from that. So and they feed us. They fed us with small amount of money because it's at the war we couldn't find any job, real job to make living.
I also wanted to ask because you told me before this interview that you and your family hid a lot during the war. You didn't really have a stable place to live. What was that like?
Actually, it's just in our neighborhood. We people just dig a big it's kind of bunker, but it's not actually bunker. It's called bunker, so people can hide in there. It's like a sandbag, people put around their house,
Oh.
but we dig underneath the foundation to build a small bunker there so people can hide there, you know. But it's one of a place that we can hide bullet, then we just hide, no matter what. But that's people did at the time. We didn't have any kind of strong material to build a strong bunker like that. We just dig, underneath the foundation to make life there.
I wanted to know how your childhood was like. Did you ever think you were in the war, or did you just have fun with the other kids?
Ah, actually, we just having fun. We didn't know what happenings surround us. We just play with other kids, unless our parents, pull us out of that and hiding. So we know, oh, there was something happening now. So we just hide. But any chance that we could get out, and we children. So, we don't care. We don't know death or life whatsoever. We just, oh, it's play, it's fun. So, oh, okay, fun, then get out, fun.
Did you have school during this time? Did you learn about the
Yes,
war? Oh.
yes. We did, but it's just on and off. It was on and off.
Mm.
It's not that went to school in a daily basis. No, it just, I remember we were off. Actually, we were off for a few months. We were off for a few months until the South Saigon collapsed. Then after that, the school was established. Then we went back, but it we were off at time.
Did you learn about the war in school?
No. At the time when I went before the Saigon collapsed, then we went with normal school. But after Saigon collapse, then what we learned similar that uh, when I look at North Korea now, children went to school, they indoctrinated with all kind of communism. We were like that. We were
Ah,
similar to that. So we learn about the leaders, at the time, the leaders that how the leaders created Vietnam, communist, how communist uh, fought for freedom, or all kind of that. They indoctrinated us with all kind of that. It's personal, it's kind of personal worship, leadership or worship, something like that.
was there any discrimination between other Vietnamese people?
Yes, they it happens after second collapse, with the communists occupied the entire country. Then there were a lot of discrimination against those people who serve in the old army, which aligned with the US.
Hmm.
So those people they put in jail, or it's called educational. What's called? It's called educational educational camp.
Hmm.
It's a jail. It's a jail. Jail is prison. So they got all those people and put them in jail. Even though my father, even though he had a small role in army, but he retired before the war. He got jailed for, I think, for a few days, but because he had nothing to provide to them, so they released him. But a lot of people they got jailed for a long, long time, even though 10 years, 15 years, or has been long. It was long time. And even though children they got discriminated too in education, uh, children who had parents serving in new government or new army, I mean in communist army, then they got a lot of privileges, such as get they may get they easily get accepted into a good school, but and even though when you take a test, and if the test you got lower score, you still got accepted, because of your parents serving in the new government. But for those children serving who parents serving in the old government, then they had to get the very high score to get accepted.
Hmm.
Is the difference obvious? Sometimes if you get in, even though into a university, you have to take a test. Then even though the test, the children who parents communists, then they can get, for example, 20 points. You get accepted. But for children who parents serving in the old government, you have to be get higher, 25 or even 30. Of course, had to be higher to get accepted.
Was your family ever discriminated against during the war?
During the quad, because at the time I was kind of small, I didn't know that was actually actual discrimination supposed to be,
Hmm.
but but we just living our life. We just living our life. Whatever happened to us, then we try to overcome it. Difficulties or discrimination against it, then we try to overcome. I just remember at the time. After 75, which is the years that Saigon collapsed, and we live under new government, and they ration almost everything. Even though the food, especially the food, if your family serve in the new government, you can get good food. But if you serve in the old government, then it's the things different.
What was life like right after the war?
Of course, there's a lot of restriction. There's a lot of restriction. There was a lot of restriction. Even though there's restriction in movement, you couldn't just travel from one location to another location. You have to get permit from a local government so that allow you to travel from one place to another. For example, if you want to travel from, let's say, Berkeley to San Francisco, then you need a permit for it. It's not merely you drive a car to drive there. No, you have to get a permit from local government. Oh, what you want to go there? What purpose you are going there? So you have to get a permit. Otherwise just simply put you in jail.
Mm.
So there's a lot of restriction, and every on the way there was a lot of checkpoints. They they check out on you.